Some football images are so powerful, they changed history forever.
Welcome to Eternal Moments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start.
In the midst of a frenzied monumental stadium, Ubaldo Fillol and Alberto Tarantini embrace in an eternal embrace, a symbol of a country that dreamed and finally proclaimed champion. Between them, two fans who had sneaked onto the field with tears and smiles, complete the most human image of the 1978 World Cup. There are no medals or trophies, just skin, sweat, and pure emotion. That moment was forever dubbed the embrace of the soul, an immortal portrait of Argentine soccer. In 1999, at the historic Rose Bowl in Pasadena, an image broke new ground and became legendary. Brandi Chastain, after scoring the decisive penalty kick that gave the United States the world title, celebrated by taking off her shirt, revealing her sports bra. That spontaneous and powerful celebration captured not only a moment of triumph, but also the strength and passion of women's soccer, revolutionizing the way the sport is experienced and seen. The photo went viral, appearing on the covers of magazines such as Sports Illustrated, Newsweek, and Time, marking a turning point in the history of sport. In 1938, as Europe was boiling with political tensions, the English national football team faced Germany in a match laden with symbolism and provocation. The image of the Nazi salute on the field reflects how sport became a stage where politics and power intermingled amid a climate that foreshadowed the storm of World War II. More than a game, it was a clash of ideologies under the global gaze. In the 1991-92 season, a curious episode was etched in the memory of Spanish football when Michel, with his mischievous and provocative style, decided to test Carlos Valderrama's patience during a Real Madrid-Valladolid match. Amid laughter and astonishment, the Madrid number 10 didn't hesitate to repeatedly touch the bewildered Pibe's genitals, generating a mixture of surprise and humor on the pitch. More than a gesture, it was a curious psychological duel that showed the game's most mischievous side. On May 23, 2001, after a tense Champions League final, the football world witnessed a moment that transcended rivalry. Oliver Kahn, Bayern's giant and ferocious goalkeeper, humanly consoled Santiago Cañizares after Valencia's painful penalty shootout defeat. That sincere and noble gesture showed that, beyond competition, respect and empathy are the true champions. A moment that will go down in history as the human face of the beautiful game. Alfredo Di Stefano, immortal Real Madrid legend, proudly poses next to the 5 European Cups he won in the white shirt, a symbol of a golden era that forever changed world football. This photo reflects not only trophies, but also the passion, talent, and leadership that made the greatest white the architect of an eternal legacy. Every cup holds stories of epic battles and the magic of a player who transcended generations. In 1950, in the imposing Maracanazo stadium filled with Brazilian dreams, Uruguay wrote one of the most epic pages in world football. Against all odds and in front of an electrified stadium, the Charrúas delivered the final blow and won 2-1, unleashing a silence and disbelief that still resonate. The Maracanazo was not just a victory, but a symbol of courage and humility that forever marked the history of the beautiful game. Amid an electric atmosphere, Marco Materazzi and Rui Costa watch attentively as the Tifosi unleash their fervor by throwing flares onto the field, transforming the stadium into a spectacle of light and fire. That moment captured the unbridled passion of the Italian ultras, where football is experienced with almost religious intensity. More than a game, it is a battle of emotions, where every detail adds to the drama and magic of the match. In 1958, Alfredo Di Stefano unleashed his joy with an explosive jump after scoring the 4th goal against Vasas in Budapest, making it clear why he was Real Madrid's undisputed star. That celebration captured the passion, elegance, and hunger for victory that defined his legacy. More than a goal, it was a moment of pure magic that electrified the fans and reaffirmed his place in football history. In the Champions League, Zidane scored one of the most iconic goals in history with a masterful volley against Bayer Leverkusen. In a moment of pure technical genius and elegance, the French number 10 transformed the ball into art, sealing Real Madrid's glory. That goal not only defined the match, but is forever etched in the memories of millions as a symbol of football perfection. On July 9, 1994, in the midst of the World Cup in the United States, Luis Enrique sparked controversy by passionately rebuking the referee after a brutal elbow from Tosatti during the quarterfinals. That image captures the mix of frustration and courage of a player who refuses to bow to injustice, and sparked one of the most memorable episodes of that tournament. It was a moment in which football also became a game of nerves and character. In the 2006 World Cup final, tension reached its peak when Zidane, in an unexpected and controversial move, headbutted Materazzi. It was a moment that paralyzed millions and forever marked the history of football, where passion and frustration exploded in an unforgettable image. More than a simple gesture, it was the dramatic outcome of a final charged with emotion and rivalry. During his time at Manchester United, Eric Cantona witnessed one of the most controversial moments in football when he launched a flying kick at a fan who was taunting him from the stands. This impulsive and explosive act shook the sporting world, revealing the most rebellious and passionate side of a player who always lived on the edge. A scene that has remained engraved as a symbol of the unpredictability and intensity of football. On July 14, 1996, in the middle of the Super Clásico between Boca Juniors and River Plate, Diego Maradona and Claudio Caniggia shared an unexpected and affectionate moment, a kiss that surprised everyone and demonstrated the brotherhood beyond rivalry. In a stadium where passion often explodes into fierce rivalries, this gesture was a reminder that football is also about friendship and genuine emotion, a moment that has been etched in the memory of Argentine sport. In the 1994 World Cup final, Roberto Baggio experienced one of the saddest moments of his career when he missed the decisive penalty that gave Brazil victory. His expression of frustration and desolation was forever engraved as a symbol of the pressure and cruelty of sport at the highest level. More than a mistake, it was a human moment that showed that even the best face their demons on the field. In the 1994 World Cup, Andrés Escobar suffered a cruel fate when he scored an own goal in the match against the United States, an error that not only marked the result, but the history of Colombian football. His expression of sadness and regret became a symbol of the tragedy he experienced, a painful reminder of how sport can have consequences beyond the field, an image that transcends football and speaks of humanity and destiny. In the quarterfinals of the 1986 World Cup, Diego Maradona defied the rules and history with his famous Hand of God, a goal that sparked controversy and brilliance in a single instant. Against England, in a match charged with tension and symbolism, that illegal touch became legendary, proving that in football sometimes cunning can be as powerful as talent. A moment that divides, fascinates, and lives on in the collective memory. On May 29, 1985, the Heysel Stadium in Brussels became the scene of a tragedy that shook world football. A stampede among fans before the European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus left 39 dead and hundreds injured. That dark night revealed the dark side of uncontrolled passion and marked a turning point in stadium safety. A painful memory that invites reflection on the importance of respect and humanity in sport. Johan Cruyff, football revolutionary and master of style, defied even the most basic norms when he was caught calmly smoking on the bench.
That image reflects the unique personality of a genius who not only changed the game on the field, but also broke new ground off it. A moment that combines rebellion, calm, and talent, as only Cruyff could achieve. This image captures one of the most controversial moments in modern football. Paolo Di Canio performing the Nazi salute after a match with Lazio. A gesture that sparked worldwide outrage and highlighted the tensions and debates surrounding politics, history, and responsibility in sport. Beyond the game itself, this act served as a reminder that football is sometimes affected by conflicts that go far beyond the ball.
In the summer of 1996, Paul Gascoigne staged one of the most memorable and controversial celebrations in English football with his famous dentist's chair performance. This crazy and extreme way of celebrating, inspired by the team's alcoholic antics, reflected Gaza's rebellious and uninhibited side. More than a simple gesture, it was a symbol of British football culture that blends talent, fun, and a touch of madness. Mario Balotelli sparked a stir with his famous "Why always me" phrase when he lifted his shirt after scoring for Manchester City. More than a goal, it was a cry of defiance from a player who was always in the eye of the storm, facing criticism and controversy with audacity and his own style. That image captured Balotelli's unique personality, a rebel who turned every game into a spectacle on and off the field. In the 2010 World Cup final in South Africa, Andres Iniesta not only scored the goal that gave Spain glory, but he celebrated it with a heartfelt gesture. He displayed a shirt with the phrase, "Dani Harke, always with us," a heartfelt tribute to his deceased friend and captain. He transformed that moment into an act of love, remembrance, and unity. It was a goal that transcended sport and touched the souls of millions. In the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, Pelé and Jairzinho celebrated together a triumph that would go down in football history. That embrace symbolizes the chemistry, talent, and friendship that led Brazil to one of its most memorable titles. More than teammates, they were brothers on the pitch who transformed the game into an art form filled with joy and magic, a moment that captures the essence of football samba. In the 1970 World Cup, Pelé and Bobby Moore, two legends from rival national teams, met on the pitch as symbols of greatness and sportsmanship. Beyond the competition, this image captures the mutual respect between two football giants who represented not only their countries, but also the sport's most noble values, an epic encounter that transcends generations and rivalries. In 1995, René Higuita revolutionized the world of football with his iconic Scorpion, a mind-blowing acrobatic move in which he cleared the ball with his heels while in mid-air. More than a simple clearance, it was a display of creativity and courage that broke all the mold, turning the Colombian goalkeeper into a legend and leaving the crowd speechless. A moment that redefined what it meant to take risks on the field. In the first World Cup in 1930, Héctor Scarone shone as one of Uruguay's greatest stars, leading his team to inaugural glory. His talent and leadership were key to Uruguay being crowned champion on home soil, beginning a glorious history in world football. That image captures the essence of a pioneer who laid the foundations for the game we know and love today. In 1974, Franz Beckenbauer lifted the World Cup as a symbol of German leadership, elegance, and power. Nicknamed the Kaiser, his figure marked an era of dominance and unique style, leading Germany to the pinnacle of world football. That photo captures not just a trophy, but the legacy of a captain who redefined the game with class and authority. In 2021, Lionel Messi celebrated the Copa America with tears and joy, a long-awaited title that crowned his brilliant career with the Argentine national team. After years of struggle and sacrifice, that victory was not just another trophy,
but the emotional reward that united an entire country, a moment of glory that cemented his legacy as one of the greatest of all time.